Okay, I'll bring this up to the top. Let's call the meeting to order. If they come in, they come in. 11:04 is the time. So all of you have gotten the minutes from the meeting. I sent all the documents and files for this meeting to you in email. Again, you know, Betsy does a great job and it's very comprehensive. And actually, it was a little shorter this time, Betsy. It was shorter. We didn't talk as much or what? What the heck happened? Anyway, it was a little shorter, but very good, very well done. So I would like a motion to dispense with the minutes. If somebody would make that, please.
I'll make a motion to dispense reading of the minutes.
Okay,
Yeah, the minutes.
seconded.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, very good. All right, as I always say, every meeting is on the new website on the officer page. It's a sub page called Video and Supporting Documents. So you can find the 10-15 minutes. You can find the financial report. You'll have this video afterwards, the agenda, blah, blah. They're all there, so you can review them at any time if you feel you need to. So we'll go to the financial report, and you're up, Connie. You're muted, Connie.
I know, I don't want to talk about it.
I know, poor Connie. Connie and I have been, you know, we're trying to close out PayPal and do Stripe, and in between all that, we're jumping to different accounts and trying to straighten this all out, and it's just been unbelievable. So
Okay, well, as you can see, as of October 31st, the bank NOI spreadsheet matched perfectly. As of today, it won't, but good news is we have a whole lot more money, because I just deposited $320 yesterday, some of which was yours, Bob. I did deposit it finally. And thank you very much for that generous donation, by the way.
You're welcome.
Then I also transferred, I want to say close to $900 from Stripe.
right.
And then about $47 from PayPal. Well, add another, what, $9, I don't know. Anyways, we're doing pretty good on the donation part this
Okay.
month. And once we can figure out Stripe, we'll have a better, or we'll have an accurate report on the finances. But as of right now, we're doing really good, I think.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Regarding that. My $10 a month thing that I sent, I noticed that it was canceled. Was that supposed to come back to me, or was it going to go over, or how's that? Do I need to set up again?
Well, you already gave a donation on the new fundraising page on the new website.
Right.
And that $10, because we're trying to close out PayPal, there's two different PayPal accounts there, our old original, and then the second one we set up for this new site. So we had to close that. We're trying to close them out, so we haven't got to jump all over the place to try to, and plus PayPal wasn't working with our new website. We had an awful time trying to get it to work. So we canceled those accounts, and yours was one of them, Brian. And I sent an email to every person saying, listen, if you want to do that again, you can go to the new website on the fundraising page and do it again if you want to. But you already made a donation for the year on our new website. So that's canceled. It's not going to take any more payments from your last one in November. That's done. That $10 a month there, that's done.
Oh. Okay, when I was looking at the PayPal, it said it went through, and then it came back as canceled. But I don't know what's happened to the $10.
Well, technically, this is what I feel needs to happen, Brian, because you're right. That money that you donated for November, you did it with Stripe and then also PayPal. It got transferred through both of them. So my suggestion is don't even send one in December, set it up in January.
Okay.
or I can refund you one of the, however you want to do it, I'm good with it. Either way, I can refund you the one from Stripe
Well, I
because
just
we've
as
already
soon have-
canceled.
I just soon have the $10 keep going on Stripe, but I don't know if
Right.
I need to go in and redo it or what.
Well, but the thing is, like I said, you've given 2 donations for November.
Okay.
So I just think that maybe you ought to just I can either refund you the one from Stripe, or I can refund you the one from PayPal, either way, or leave them both there and that way one is for December and then just start in January.
All right. I'm going
If
to
you
do it that
want.
way. Yeah.
You wanna
let's
do
go
it that way? Okay,
All right.
Thank you.
On the agenda sheet there where I always try to give you the summary, and between Stripe, PayPal, and 5 checks that Connie received, handwritten checks, that's about 49 total donations. That amount right there is wrong. I don't know where I got that number from. But it's roughly, I'm just going to guess without looking at the spreadsheet and bringing it up, like $2,000 total. So that's in 24 days or something like that since we started. That's a pretty good amount, starting off. So in 24 days. I hope it continues because obviously we need more to meet our basic budget. So, and every year I always say this, we're fortunate and we're grateful because we have many members that give repeated donations, which means that's the same person that gives multiple times, not just recurring like Brian was doing, but they give multiple times. They might give halfway through the year again. So, we're pretty fortunate that we have those kind of supporters. All right. And the last thing I want to cover under financial is, before I cover the tentative budget, can I have a motion to approve, accept Connie's financial report?
I'll move that we accept the financial report as is.
All right. Seconded?
I'll second.
All right.
Pick somebody.
Seconded. All in favor? Aye.
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 Very good. Now I'll bring up the tentative budget. Let's see here. Okay, you all seeing that on the screen?
Yes.
All right, we always do a tentative budget at the end of the previous year, which means this year, 2020, for the next year, 2021. And most of the information I get for this obviously comes from Connie's spreadsheet. All right, so the first section there is the expenses, upcoming expenses. It should say, there's a little correction right there. Don't catch everything. For 2021, Survey Monkey 400, Zoom conferencing 162. That's a year. These are a year now. Statcounter is $89 a year. Our Mail Poet program for 2,000 members to do emails to 2,000 members because we're over 1,000. We pay $300 a year. Our board liability insurance is $21.35 a year. Our GoDaddy website hosting. Now, of course, our first year we got a number of bargains. So I talked to GoDaddy the other day and I said, what are our projected costs for 2021? Because there's always an increase after you go through the first year and you get the discounts when you first sign up. So these are the costs that they gave me: $240 for hosting, $1,500 for maintenance, a care plan, $125 a month, website security, that's all the different security features that you have on there, $240 a year. Email accounts, we have 3 email accounts right now, Connie, Brian, and I. We're paying right now $4 each month. It's going to go up to $6 each month. But I'm going to try to get the discounts again. I'm going to go after those discounts again. All right, so that's the total GoDaddy right there. Then office supplies, I'm just projecting this as a best estimate. We've gone down a lot since a person left us. But Connie and I and Brian, I'm sure is going to have some postage and stationery. We may get back into the postcards or brochures if people want them for their retiree groups or get-togethers. Of course, with COVID, nobody's really getting together anymore right now. But so that's an estimate, $500. Travel expense, of course, has gone to zero, basically, because they're doing everything virtual and online right now. Like the share owners meeting last year, or this year in the spring, was virtual online. The fall meeting we just had November 5th was online. So we don't have, hotels and flights and car rentals and food costs. So they're both zero. We saved by the virtual online stuff about $4,000. So that was pretty good that we brought that down. Not pretty good, but you know why? Because of COVID, virtual online. Legal and lawyer fees, that's just contingency. 250 is built into the budget. Marketing expense. Now this year, we're really going to get into a marketing campaign, and Benestar has pledged to help us with this cost, but we're going to get into a marketing campaign over the Benestar plans and over our fundraising and donations and stuff. And we're really going to reach out to that 60,000 retirees and dependents that are online. So we're going to spend the money, and we're going to hope we're going to have increased membership growth and revenue growth. So that's budgeted at 4,000 right now. We pay our accountant when we file our taxes in July, $200 each year, a year. So total expenses, you'll see right under that, is $73.10. And again, this is based mostly, there's some presumptions here. As I told you, some things will increase, but this is our best estimate at our cost right now for 2021. Okay.
I have a question, John.
Yeah.
What about Chatport? Is there no fee for it, or what about the Pro?
Geez, that's a good question, Brian. The one thing I was going to check, Brian, and I still haven't done it, is GoDaddy has a license, but is the license for the free trial, or does it cover the Pro version? That's what I have to find out. We may end up having a cost for that, and that'll have to be added into this budget. But and I'm not 100% sure what the Pro price is for Chat. What Brian is talking about is Chatport. It's Chaport. If you notice on the new website, on the bottom right corner, there's a little icon down there. And right now, Brian and I are monitoring this thing. And the people, our members, can interact with us through that. And Brian and I have been doing it, and we've been getting pretty good participation from the members, asking us questions, whether it's about their dues or registering or benefits or Benestar. They've been asking a lot of questions. So far, it's a customer service function, if you will. So it's been working pretty good. But whether we go to the Pro version, if GoDaddy doesn't cover the cost in their license, we go to that might add a little expense. So does that answer your question, Brian?
Yes, it does. But, then again, that the Pro version would help everything greatly, especially if it ties in directly to Facebook. And you also get a ton more information on people who are using the chat. Yeah. Right now, it's just pretty basic with just an email. So you really don't know who you're talking to. With the Pro version, it spells all that out for you.
That's a
good great help.
See, what Brian is saying is on that, right now on the basic right now, because I think we went past the trial version. They're asking us to go to Pro, but I got to check with GoDaddy on their license. But there is a lot more features. And like you said, sometimes people will get on there and it just says visitor and gives us no information. So I have to ask them right off the bat, who are you? Who who am I talking to here? And you know, your name, your email, whatever. So we know who we're talking to, we can follow up with them. They can also leave a message if nobody's on there and not monitoring. If Brian isn't on there, if I'm not on there, they can leave a message. But how can we get back to them if they, on the free version or trial version, there's no information to get back to them, you see? That's what he's basically saying. There is a lot more features in the pro version. So anyway, I'll keep you informed on that. I want to check with GoDaddy first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, Brian?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So there's the tentative budget. Always every year I ask for approval from the board on the tentative budget. So if somebody would make a motion to approve the tentative budget for 2021, I'd appreciate it.
I will have something to say about this. I'm thinking that maybe we should also have Bob on the emails because he is a vice president, and if something comes up that you can't perform your duties, he needs to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important, really important, that he be involved in some of this stuff, including that chat port thing, whatever you guys are talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
I agree too. So, you know, that would increase to 4 email accounts on that GoDaddy section on the tentative budget, which is, again, $6 a month, $72 a year. We can afford it.
Well, let me ask you a question. Why do I actually need it? If my email, isn't it on the, where we pay dues or people send dues in it, isn't it on there? So if they wanted to email me, it's there, the
Yeah, I
G
know.
benefits one.
The whole
Maybe.
idea is like when they talk about, you know, it makes us look more professional when we have GRetireeSolutions.org on the end of our names. And that's the whole point of it. It's more appearance reasons, like if you're corresponding with somebody, you're representing our organization, they see that by that extension, GRetireeSolutions.org. That's basically what it's
So
about.
is that tied in with my SUTV email?
Well,
I haven't gotten any mail on that.
yeah. No, you have to set up to receive that just like I had to in my Outlook. Brian, I don't know how you set yours up. What email program do you use, Brian?
Well, I use the solutions, plus I also use MSN. The only time that it goes to MSN is if somebody actually sends it to it. I don't have the 2 accounts tied together. I tried, and it says it is, but it's not working.
Okay.
Because I use Outlook also for MSN, which is what we're using with GoDaddy.
A regular email program. Thunderbird is free and it's a very good program.
Okay.
I think that's the one that I have, Bob. I mean, mine is, but it's under SUTV.
My kids all use that. I don't use it, but I have it on my computer, but I use Outlook, but you know, one day I will go to that.
Well, I think the question right now is on the emails is on the old Rage account, the old website, when everybody had like cvic@ragehcc.org or Brian or any of us or Bob, it forwarded to your basic email, your primary email, like Connie, your SUTV, or Brian, MSN, or Bob, whatever your extension was there. It forwarded from there. GoDaddy is set up a little different. I'm going to have to check with GoDaddy on the forwarding function of your professional email for our web, you know, for our organization. I'll have to check with them and see why, Connie, you're not getting it, Brian, you're not getting it. Why isn't it forwarding to your basic primary email? That's what I need to find out.
Yeah, because I'm not getting anything.
Yeah. See, I do because I have it set up in my Outlook as a separate email account in my Outlook, besides all my other.
God, I don't need another email account.
I know what you mean, Connie. I'm all over the place. I go from Outlook to Rage to this, to that, Gmail.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God, I'm going crazy.
If I told you guys how many email accounts I have, you'd flop.
Yeah, well, ugh.
Anyway, as part of that tentative budget, so we can vote on it, we're gonna add Bob to the email accounts, okay?
Is that okay with you, Bob?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you
Okay.
guys want me to do,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
definitely.
Okay.
Within limits, I mean.
Within limits. Will you give us your bank account and routing number, please?
You remember me disappointed, I think.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept the tentative budget for 2021, please?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
All right,
A second.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, very good. Oh, I didn't cover the revenue on the bottom, but anyway, there's the revenue. We set a goal for 15,000. We always have a carryover, folks, from every year. I used to call it a carryover reserve, like a reserve, a prudent reserve. And on average, we've carried over from 6,000 to 7,000, sometimes a little higher. This year, again, we cut the travel expense and all that, so we had a good carryover of 7,500. And there's the right contributions right there, not the one up on top that we just covered under financial. That's what we got so far net after the Stripe takes their fees like PayPal used to. So we got 1779. Actually, it's a little higher now with Connie's 5 checks and all the other stuff. But so total, if you look on the website on that little bar graph on the website, on the homepage and on the fundraising, we keep track of that. We have 92.79.61 and 61 cents towards the 15,000. And I'm projecting contributions. I'm projecting this because we've been doing good. And the thing with contributions is you got to constantly market and remind people whether they like it or not. And some of them send me email, you already told me about that, you know, and blah, blah. I said, well, you're on the email list. What can I do about it? So we're projecting another $5,700 to get up to that 15,000, which is going to help with the marketing, because marketing is going to increase our growth and our revenue, just so you know. So there's the income on the bottom of that. All right, so now I'll go back to the agenda. Okay. The old business, the new GoDaddy website, you know, we already talked about this. This is all in the minutes. We've done pretty good. We got very few things left to do. Benefits advocate Brian, you all know from the last meeting he accepted, but we also had a meeting since then, an introductory and support meeting with GE, Via, Connie, myself, and of course Brian. Brian, I left your name out of this line, and Brian was there. It was good, and they pledged their support, both GE and Via, to help Brian with anything as he's in the training and learning process, to help him deal with any concerns or issues regarding benefits, or regarding Via, or any of that stuff. Okay, and even beyond that, to life insurance and other issues that Brian may have to handle. You know, he has all the contacts. He met all the people. We had a good meeting. Brian, you want to say anything to that before I jump to the next one?
Since I've done that, I've had 3, maybe 4 jobs assigned to me already, one of them including myself. But no, everybody that I've been in contact with responds very quickly back with the answers that I need. And we've helped quite a few people already. So
Yeah.
It's all good.
Good. And you're going to learn more through doing it that way than you are. I know you're very, you're willing to look at things and read things and study things and do all that, but you're going to learn and remember through the interaction, the experiential type, dealing with people. That's where you're going to learn the most, really, as you deal with these issues. You've done a good job so far, and Keep it up, brother.
Thank you.
All right, so the fundraising drive, we got it off to a little bit of a late start. You know, we usually start in September, but we kicked it off about October 23rd, but we've done very good. As I explained above on donations in 24 days, we've done very well. I just hope it continues. And we're going to get into that comprehensive marketing program about fundraising, about membership growth, about Benestar. There's a lot we're going to do. There's a whole process sheet that I've put together and have shared with Benestar. Again, they said they would share in the cost, but we want to reach out to those 60,000 GE retirees and dependents that are online. That's a good number of people. Okay. So if we can start bringing some of those people in, we're going to grow our membership and we're going to grow our revenue quite a bit. All right, under new business, we already did the tentative budget. The annual retiree dependent survey is done. We presented that survey to GE on November 5th. I attached that to your email, the summary of that survey that we presented. And we were waiting for GE to send us materials that was covered in the meeting, from the agenda to documents to slides to presentations, all that kind of stuff. And I just got it the other day. So I will be forwarding that to you guys and doing a summary report out for the membership about our November 5th meeting with GE, now called the Annual Retiree Town Hall Meeting. Okay, so that'll be coming out shortly. I also sent you an email on Statcounter on the statistics. I think it's phenomenal what the activity, the influx of activity and participation on our new website. That's what Statcounter shows us. We also are seeing a big increase in participation on our Facebook page. If you'll notice on the Facebook page now, you'll see next to the post, like the activity, how much of a reach it's had on each one of those posts. And we're doing like 1,000. Now we have 2,500 members, but we know this, most of them, a lot of them fell away, they don't participate. But we have 1,000 a day on a post, I should say, not a day. But I think it is a day when I looked at the graphics on it, the stats on it, 1,000 a day participating at our Facebook page. That's even if they're just looking, they aren't commenting, they aren't posting, but they're at least looking. So something's enticing them. And I believe it's the healthcare thing. And I believe it's the new website. Something's enticing people to look at our new website and to get more engaged on our Facebook page, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. All right.
I'm sorry, I gotta go outside again,
All right.
just for a minute.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, membership growth and revenue. This was a delightful task right here, folks. That I had to transfer the old user directory from our old website, ragehcc.org, to our new one. Oh my God. Hours, Brian knows that, and Connie knows. I spent hours and hours and then contacting those people and trying to get them to register on the new website. And I probably handled 150 to 200 members, helping them get registered, how to make a donation, how to do all that kind of stuff. Oh my God, it was hours, right, Brian? Hours and hours.
That's for sure. That's where that Chatport, the Pro, would really help you out a bunch.
Yeah, it would.
John, are you still getting help from Matthew on that, Matt?
As far as the website, no, he's off the, he's gone on to another job. But this is initially, I mean, him and I worked on bringing those people in. importing them, what they call importing them from the old user directory to the new. But once they were there, you had to let them know they were there. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them weren't reacting. And, or they would say to me, well, you said I'm on the new website, but I don't know what my password is, or something like that. So it took my individual attention to them, interacting with them, to get them, you know, totally active, on board, approved, all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of work. It really was. And I'm still chasing some of them. There's still probably another 50 or so out there that I keep sending group emails. And like I told you, people say to me, geez, I already got that. Well, I'm trying to catch those other people, you know? So, and I have 2 spreadsheets. You know, I have a spreadsheet from the old site. I have a spreadsheet from the new site of our users, our members, and trying to work off both of them and trying to get these people to come on over. So we've increased about 150 people in our, you know, that have signed up or have re-registered and all that. We've increased by about 150. But I've been in touch with so many of them. I had to help so many of them to get through that process. A lot of our people are computer challenged, you know that. And I've been sending out, like I said, from those spreadsheets, over 200 emails. And again, I get a lot of responses. Well, I don't know my password. I don't know my username. I don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. I do get a little frustrated sometimes, folks. It's like babysitting, but part of the job. All right. We already talked about revenue and income, you know, the carryover and what we're trying to solicit. Benestar. Next item on the agenda is the Benestar update. We're still waiting for those rates. They're in the middle of open enrollment, and I bug them every week, at least minimum every week, sometimes more, and say, listen, we're waiting for you to give us those final details on the 3 options and the rates on the 3 options. I'm still waiting. I talked to their design person, their website design person. Give me the page to put on our new website. I just made up a mock page, if you remember, on our new website for Benestar. Give me the design for the new page so I can put it up. Connie's still waiting for her comparison. Charlie's still waiting for his. Now we're talking about a kickoff on January 1st. And here it is, the middle of November. And there are some things we're going to have to do before we kick this off. Have an online webinar, do all those kind of things, get that website updated, get these options out there, all that kind of stuff, you know, marketing on this program. And I know they're in open enrollment. I know they're busy as hell, but still, they agreed to this and they got to get it done. So again, today, probably after we're done, I will contact them again and say, you know, you gave me very little to update our board, you know, you guys, to update you guys. And I need answers to these things. And, you know, we'll see where it goes. But I was told I would have that information by today, and I don't. It's not in my email. So I have to hound them again.
I mean, right now on TV, they're advertising 0 copays or laying out a whole bunch of stuff on TV. They're competitors. So, you know, they need to pony up and say, this is what we've got. This is what you'll pay. And that's kind of hanging things up.
You know what, Rodney, you're making a very good point, because this is what I said to Glenn in the last email. I know they can join Benestar at any time because it's a group plan, but if they're going and changing their plans right now, whether it's through VIA or on their own, like you say, through these television ads, and they say, oh, look at this price for Medicare, Medigap, I'm going with this plan. After they do that, do you honestly think they're going to jump over to Benestar after that? Switch again? You know, even if you got a better price and more enhanced benefits, they're going to say, no, I'm all set. I'm all set. VIA's all set, or go outside, like you say, through one of those commercials. I'm all set. That's the way people are. I said, you're taking the chance of losing customers or clients. That's what I said to Glenn at Benestar. So I think it was a bad time to, with them during open enrollment to say, this is where we'll do our marketing and try to bring people. But open enrollment ends what? December 5th, I think it is. Nationwide, it ends December 5th, I believe.
7th, I think.
Yeah. What is it?
I think it's December 7th.
Oh,
Somewhere
7th?
around the time.
Seventh is right.
Yeah, 7th. Okay.
You know,
Don,
the big thing on this is we could just get the premiums from Benestar, because that's what people want to know right now.
Yeah, that's what Charlie's been really squawking hard about that for some time, and
Yeah.
One of the biggest selling points, I think, that this group thing has is any of those advantage plans that you take and you keep it for over 12 months and you want to go back to regular Medicare, you have to prove your health. You have to answer health questions. With the group thing, you said that you can go in and out anytime you wanted to.
Yes.
And that's a huge advantage
Yeah, it is.
over those advantage plans that make you, after that 12-month thing. It's in the handbook. Maybe I can get that out there and copy that out and put it on our website
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
information.
Yeah. See, even us as a board, I mean, Bob, you got some experience in insurance and all that, but understanding the difference between a group plan, which we used to have before GE took it away, and an individual plan that you're getting on the market, whether it's through VA or on your own, is a total difference. There's a total difference on switching and all those different things. And, getting pre-screened again, or what's the terminology? I'm using the wrong terminology.
Health qualified.
Yeah, medically qualified. If you go into a new plan, the group plan is totally different. It's given a lot of leverage, a lot of leeway with Medicare, and people don't understand that. I don't think.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just don't, when we started talking about this, even us as a board, we all had questions. What does this really mean? Well, if you think about going back with GE, we were in a group plan before they took it away, before we filed a lawsuit, salaried and hourly. It was a group plan. It was totally different. That's what we're going back into, is a group plan, if they want to, if the people want to. Go ahead, Ken.
Well, one of the things that I'm still a little bit confused about is let's say I go to the group plan. And I know I asked a question if I wasn't happy having the group plan and I wanted to go back to a supplemental plan, for example, Plan N, that's the one I'm on. They said, yeah, you can go back, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to qualify for Plan N if I had already had other health issues and stuff, because they can ask you your health issues when you're trying to get a different plan now. And your rates, like right now, I think mine is like $83, something like that. Plan N could go, I mean, it could be sky high. My friend pays $211 for the same plan I have, exact same coverage. Of course, this is age also, but so that's a little bit of a concern that I have. When they say, yeah, you can go back to a supplemental plan, you might wind up having to get a supplemental plan that pays out the nose.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to really clarify that with Glenn and Don, from Benestar.
Well, they don't make that decision. It's the insurance companies when you're talking with them to get a
Some
plan.
insurance companies issue policies, premiums charged by a age you are. And some companies issue policies from the age you started.
Mm-hmm.
They don't raise you, but most nowadays do raise you when you go into a higher age. So that's something that just happens, you know.
age attained, but age attained, and then the other ones that you're talking about where everybody pays the same rate and stuff. But what I'm saying is that if my health was really bad, I may not be able to get a plan in at a reasonable rate. So I might have to get something like a Plan K that doesn't cover a whole lot because it's lower premium.
If you leave a group plan, in other words, you don't have the group plan anymore, that makes you that's one of those things that automatically qualifies you to get the Medicare plan. That's my understanding.
That's what I thought.
Without being questions on your health.
You have certain periods, certain things that happen
Mhm.
that you automatically get to qualify without
Okay.
questions.
Yeah.
And if
Oh,
you had different coverage, the Advantage thing is specific because that was a law written with a specific policy, that Advantage thing. So that's why they put that in there.
okay.
But most things, other things, it's if you have something happen in your life, that makes you automatically able to switch back.
Okay,
And I think
yeah, we'll clarify, but I think Bob's got it, but
Mhm,
we'll
mhm.
clarify with Glenn and Don, Connie, because
Yeah, okay.
you know, it is a good question.
Well, it makes more sense now that the way Bob explained it.
Yeah,
Thanks, Bob.
okay. So as part of that, you know, because people will have a question just like Connie had, and they're going to ask those kind of questions. Are they covered at doctors and healthcare providers? These are some of the things that they should know. They can join it at any time. They're covered at any doctor or healthcare provider that accepts Medicare anywhere. So in other words, in or out of network, it's the same price. They understand, Benestar understands that the RRA and GPAP qualifications, the people that get the RRA and GPAP, what the qualifications are, the restrictions are, and they have to keep one part, retain one part through VIA, whether it's a Medicare, Medigap, or the prescription. So, you know, this is going to have to be emphasized with a lot of people that get the RRA. You can still jump out of the Medicare, Medigap option. You know, that's why we set up 3 options. The third option is strictly Medicare, Medigap, you see, without prescription. The other 2 options, the first 2 options are with prescription. But again, all this would be explained in a webinar and we'd put all the details out there. But I keep mentioning we need to know this as a board when people ask questions. You need to know this because they're going to say, and I got one lady that's probably emailed me 3 times on the same question. And I don't know, I keep trying to explain to her, they understand if you have the RRA that you have to keep one part through VIA. They understand that, but she just keeps asking the same question over and over. So I don't know how to explain to her. All right. Any other thing on Benestar? I'm going to try to push them to give us that stuff, believe me. I mean, they've held us off long enough here. And if we're going to kick off January 1st, we got to do a marketing and online webinar and all that kind of stuff before we kick off. We got to answer people's questions. So the marketing plan will consist of, these are just some of the things. Like I said, I've drawn up a real comprehensive plan with Benestar on how we're going to approach this thing. And again, it's not just going to be Benestar. It's going to be about membership growth and revenue growth. So we'll use our email distribution list. We'll use posting ads on Facebook, which we've already started some of this, you know, teasing the people about Benestar and about donations. Posting ads on our solutions website, the Benestar page on our new website, internet marketing in key G areas and regions. There's a whole list of groups and different things, and there's a way to market, digitally market in those key, like Lynn and Louisville and Erie and Schenectady and down in your area, Connie, and all these different areas where there's clusters of GE retirees independents. So that's the big area to attack. That 60,000 that we're talking about, that's the big area to attack to draw members in. All right. Also, we've had some people show on the annual survey showing interest in Benistar. As Brian said earlier, people are asking questions on the chat board. Some people are asking questions on Facebook. So we have a small group, not a large group, that are saying, yeah, we're interested in listening to this, what their presentation is. So we have to market all that stuff. That's where our growth is going to come from. All right. Now, this next little section here. So as I told you, there's like 60,000 online retirees and dependents. We know that from GE. We know that from Social Security. We know that from the 75-25 split from Social Security. So if 20% joined us, a high number, but if 20% joined us, that would be 12,000 members, new members we would have. If only 10% joined us, that would be 6,000 after this big marketing campaign. Of those two groups, the 12,000 and the it should say, well, 600 should 6,000, I think. If only 10%, because our statistics show right now a 7% donation level right now. It's increased some since we started this last fundraiser, the way we've done it. But if we got 10% to give a donation at the basic level, the bronze level, $24 a year, that would increase our revenue on the $12,000 or 12,000 new members to $28,800. Can you imagine? And on the smaller group, the 6,000 new members, if we only got that amount, 10% joined us, we would gain $14,400 in revenue. And I'll tell you, at that point, you know, there's a lot of other things we could do and we could offer, and marketing and growing and revenue. And that's why marketing is important. So we're hoping to draw on that 60,000 group and bring a lot of new people in. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Benistar is going to have to step up to the plate, which they agreed to do. And as I said, we're going to do internet marketing. We're going to do all kinds of marketing to try to draw those retirees and dependents in the key GE areas. There's clusters of retirees down here in Florida, which I gave to them, that GE actually shared with me. They didn't give me the names, but they shared it with me. So we'll do that kind of strategic marketing, if you will. All right. Any questions on that? On the marketing plan or the numbers I threw out there, if you understand what I'm saying in those numbers or anything? Okay. Nobody has. Did I throw too many numbers out there for you? All right, next item on the agenda is the chat port volunteers. Brian and I, as I told you, are doing it right now. If you've never looked at it, click on that little icon down there in the bottom right, and it'll bring you to a chat box, if you will. And if Brian or I are on there, you'll see us. It'll tell you we're online. If we're not online, it tells you you can leave a message. But Brian does it, what, 3 days a week? Brian, you're doing it?
Yeah, I try to. I put on Facebook that I would be on it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 11 a.m. Central Time till 12. Here, past couple of weeks, I've been pretty tied up with appointments and some other stuff, but I should be able to get back into regular routine. We do need more help. I mean, I can't be on it constantly, and you can't be on it constantly.
Yeah.
Just an hour, you know, for 1 day a week from somebody else would really help.
That's exactly what we're asking. So if anybody,
I'm usually working in my work area.
yeah,
So I wouldn't mind signing into that and take something as time would allow me. I'm working all day, but
you know,
I'm sitting near my computer all day. I'm either at my workbench or here.
Okay. And that's the point, you know, you don't have to, Brian set some particular hours and he's trying to keep that schedule as best he can, but I jump on there when I can. And when I do, sometimes I see 5 or 6 messages have been left. But again, on the free trial, we don't get their name or their email. So it doesn't mean no good. They can leave a question or ask something, but how can I respond?
And we get the pro thing, either whether we pay for it or how we get it.
Yeah, I'll have to, I'll go back and look at the pro. I want to check with GoDaddy, but I'm gonna look at the pro and give you guys some prices so that, you know, we'll have to approve it as a board. But I think that is the way to go. But if anybody's willing to volunteer, if you're sitting around, if you get on your computer, whether it's during the day or at afternoon or night, and you're willing to spend an hour or two, if you're willing to volunteer, I wrote Bob down. We would appreciate it. As Brian said, we could certainly use the help. I can't be on there all the time. He can't be on there all the time. It is a customer service function.
A lot of times I'm downloading programs or installing and I'm just sitting there, you know, so that'd be a good time for me to check that, you know, and then nothing's there, go on.
And as part of that, I would give you guys, I sent Brian a sheet and I would send it to every board member with like contact phone numbers, whether it's G numbers for pension or 1HR or links. Like
All right, that would help.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of numbers on it.
All right.
It would have Brian's number on there as our benefits advocate. It would have, say, Connie's thing on there as our treasurer for donation questions. Just so if you're on the chat port and you're trying to interact and they're asking a question about donations, they're asking a question about benefits, they're asking a question about signing on to 1HR, you know, this list that and it needs to be improved, but I put it together and I sent it to Brian.
So let me ask you a question. If I'm on the website, let's say I just have the website open, but I'm not on it because a lot of times I just leave my laptop on, but I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching TV or whatever. If I have that website open, do you get a notification like a ding or something that somebody's trying to contact you? Yeah?
Yeah, yes, you do. Yes,
Okay.
you do. And I don't know now that we've gone beyond the trial, but I know before, I think that might be one of the pro things. During the trial, we did get it, but after that, I don't hear the dings anymore. But if we go to the pro version, you will hear the ding is my point, Con.
Okay, and also the next question is, just like our old website, if you weren't active on it for a while, it logged you out. Does this one log you out?
No, you have to log yourself out. If you're on there as one of the, everybody's called an administrator that I put on there, like
Right.
any board member. And you have to log yourself out. It's very easy to do. You go to the chat portal and you just log out.
Right, okay. Well, I can try to monitor it in the evenings, not every evening, but you know,
No, that's
portion of the evening.
all right. I'm gonna put you down.
Like probably 8 o'clock in the evening, it would be probably the time I would start being able to do that.
Okay. Hey, anytime anybody's willing to volunteer, is there anybody else? Rodney, you willing to give any time to it?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Stanley, you willing to give any time to it?
Not yet.
Okay. Betsy?
Yeah, I'm kind of busy because I've got I'm teaching a class right now. But
Okay. All right.
maybe sometime.
Well, if you can, and certainly, again, you're not going to have answers to every question, and that's why we have Connie for donations. We have Brian for benefits. There's something else you can't answer, you can give them my email, stuff like that, you know, Connie's email.
Bob for insurance,
Or what, Connie?
and Bob can also help out with it and
Yeah,
some of
right.
like the Venistar stuff, maybe.
Yeah. And Bob, I'd like to talk to you after the meeting, not during the meeting, but about taking over some of the website stuff again, if you don't mind. Okay,
Okay,
we'll talk later.
we'll talk about it.
I like your expression on your face. Oh, hell.
Well, I'm looking mainly at approvals and stuff like that, Bob, what you used to do on the old one. Yeah, and we can go from there. I know that WordPress is a complicated bugger to deal with, believe me. Oh, yeesh. Okay, has anybody else got anything? I marked the meeting dates on the bottom, as you can see, if you wanted to mark your calendar. So it's always the second Thursday of the month, but there's the dates. Finishing up this year and going into next year.
I already have my new calendar up too.
Is there any other topics or things that anybody wants to bring up?
Yes, I would like to bring up a proposal or maybe a motion. So I know that you've been doing a lot of stuff, John, a lot. Taking care of the website, getting websites going, talking to Benestar, contacting GE for different things that are going on, retiree stuff, exploring new ways and things to offer members and stuff. So I wanted to make a proposal that you would get a stipend for everything that you're doing, because I know that we're a nonprofit organization, but all of the stuff that you've been doing, IRS stuff, I don't know how you have all the time to do this, but I just feel like you should be getting something for this, for all the stuff that you're doing. So I'm thinking in terms of like maybe $50 a month or something. And that's my proposal. And I'm wondering, want to know what the rest of the members feel about this, the board, I mean.
I think that sounds reasonable to me.
You know, $600 at $50 a month, $600, I could buy you some pizzas once in a while.
Okay, you can order it on my Pizza Hut app
Hey, easy now.
right here at Winfield, and they'll deliver.
Are you gonna make that a
Well,
motion?
I really appreciate that. And if anybody has any discussion that they want to have on that, we certainly can have that before we move on to motion. But I spend a lot of time, folks. I'm
I
telling you,
know.
Yeah, yes, he does.
a ton of that. It's like I always joke with people and people say, you're nuts. Why don't you quit? Why don't you just retire?
I've said it myself.
I joke around and I say, you know, it's like a full-time job with no pay, and $600 a stipend, like nonprofit, union nonprofits, and they give stipends to their officers. And I would certainly like to see us grow and give stipends to all our officers, because there's a number of you that do work. And I'm not alone, but I know I take care of the daily management of everything, as you well know. And since we've done this new website, and since Benestar, and since, like Connie said, interacting with GE, meetings with GE, everything, you know, following up on all these registrations and marketing and all this stuff. And the last probably at least 4 months, maybe in 6 months, every day, sometimes 7 hours a day, even more. So, you know, $600 is not a lot of money, but I think it's a step in the right direction for our group, especially as we grow. I think it's a good idea myself. That's my personal opinion. So the rest of the board can say what they feel.
I have one statement about it. John's done a massive amount of work during the whole time this group has been together. It took a massive effort to just start it. And so, you know, he's way beyond what most volunteer things are. But also, I don't want us to forget about who does all the work in groups. Having been the treasurer of a large group on the Indiana University campus, I know what it means to be a treasurer, believe me.
I agree.
The treasurer has to do a lot of work. So, not saying we got to do it today, but if we give stipends, that would be a place that should get something.
Yeah.
Because I know what it means to be one.
You know what? And I agree. And, if we meet those numbers that I presented and we get those 60,000, we bring those people in, we're going to have a good sized budget. And I believe that every officer, and of course, it means you have to be responsible and accountable and have to contribute to the activities of the board, but everybody should get that stipend. Everybody at different amounts for different levels,
Well, few nonprofit groups can afford to do that. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with the people that do all the work. Believe me, that's a way to be nice and say thank you.
Yeah, well, my next thought would be that once Brian gets his feet going really good on this benefits advocacy, that he should be next to get one because he's going to be helping a lot of retirees
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. That's
to benefit them. And so I wouldn't mind him, further on down the road, once he's gotten more familiar and
but we all know VPs are just kind of out there,
no, because you know what? I don't know, because you have to remember all the crap that John's doing so that you can pick up the slack when if he got sick or something. So
He
that's
doesn't,
just as an
he doesn't
important
get
job.
sick.
Well, you never know. It's just like I kept saying about the
That's why I
benefits.
said
They'll have to give up those cigarettes one day.
there you go, Rodney.
But it's just like I said, that, it's important for the benefit advocate to share information of how he or she is helping retirees so that we in turn can learn that and help him or her if something happens that they can't. So it all works together.
Yeah.
One of the things that we did in some of the groups I've been in a lot of groups, I guess maybe, I don't know how to say no very well, but a lot of groups don't put anything down, like you could have a manual for almost each position in a group that
Yeah.
does anything. That's so helpful.
Yeah. Well, we started to do that, Bob, if you remember, when we put the organizational chart together, and then it came down from officers down to committee heads. And then I asked each committee, which a board officer chaired, I said, let's define yourself. What are your roles? What are your responsibilities in those committees? And really nobody did it, and if we grow, and each board member is a chair of each one of those committees on that organizational chart, and they're going to ask people to get involved on their committee, well, they have to be defined. What are your roles? What are your responsibilities? What are you trying to achieve? So that's
I think it's
organization.
more like a how-to thing, but
Yeah.
that also could be a part of it.
Yeah, sure. Any other discussion on the stipend? If I hear Connie, and I'm paraphrasing probably Connie, she's making a motion that I receive a stipend of $50 a month or $600 a year. And that in the future, we will look at stipends for other board members and their responsibilities as we increase in revenue. Does that sound right, Connie?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So can I have a motion for that, please?
Can I make a motion?
Connie's one that, go
All
ahead.
right.
I
Connie,
make a motion that you get $50 a month.
all right. Can you?
I made the motion, I'll second.
Connie, can you add 2 zeros to that first before we?
I'll put it in the front, a friend of the 5. How's that? Make it initial.
We need an effective date on this motion.
January 1st. Thank you, Stanley. Yes, that's January 1st, I think is appropriate.
Okay,
All right.
good one, Stanley.
Second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Very good. Anything else?
Any
everybody?
no's?
Huh?
Any no's?
Any no's?
Your nose.
I got a nose right here. See my nose? All right. Nothing else? Anybody have anything else? Anything I missed? Anything?
Just be safe.
All right. Yes, absolutely.
Y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
We'll
Thank you.
name before that.
You too.
Yeah, but have a nice holidays, everybody. But stay safe, as Bob said. You know, COVID's out there and it's rampant, folks.
Don't forget to get a hold of Santa Claus and get your wish list in.
Yeah, he never fills mine. I don't know why.
You just
Okay.
make sure you got nice warm weather to goof
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, thank God, Ronnie. No more snow, no more freezing, no more shoveling, none of that stuff.
Just hurricanes about every 3 days.
Well, we were lucky on the last one.
Yes.
That came too close, the last one. Etta, I think that's the name of it. It was Hurricane Etta. We got a lot of high winds, a lot of rain for 2 days straight. We didn't get, it knocked me out. That's why I canceled last week, by the way, and I apologize for that. Because I sent a notice out, but some people didn't get it. And I'm sorry about that. But I lost power the night before, and I said, I'll probably lose power again tomorrow. And I said, I'm just going to cancel to be safe and schedule it for today. But some people didn't get the notice. So, all right. So
We
can I have a-
survived.
Huh?
We survived.
We survived.
Yeah.
All right. So can I have a motion to adjourn then?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
All right.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you.
Don't forget, you need to talk to Bob.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye, everybody. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Too,
Thank
Connie.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I'll stay on with Bob for a minute. I'm going to turn off the recording now. Let's see. Yeah.
I hit gone.
I got to stop. All right. Let's see.